From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big morning of early mornings, LALATE. How are you? It's Saturday morning, ready to crush the morning. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and guess what's also here? Forced stimulus is now here, front page news in America. After several weeks of this channel covering forced stimulus hour by hour with you on this channel, it suddenly became front page news in a major financial news network on Friday. They heard me and they heard your pushing and they made it front page news. It also became the #1 most searched story by that financial news network on Friday, showing that Americans want forced stimulus to go out across the board. Meantime, a new report also Friday showed that stimulus would raise millions of Americans out of poverty. Meantime, big news about one major trading app that could have its license revoked in Massachusetts. New concerns about the bubble of Danny Kean and whether it could be the latest bubble to burst across the board. We end a week with incredible big news for unemployment that could push for forced stimulus faster rather than later. You don't want this economy rebounding too quickly. We saw a week in which the CPI and other data came out really strong. What happened this week? Well, we first saw the banks deliver incredible big earnings reports. We saw unemployment come to its lowest level since the pandemic. We saw retail sales going through the roof. It's time for forced stimulus, folks. It's time for forced stimulus right now. In this recording, I analyze with you how it would work from both the House and Senate point of view, how much money is at issue, also third stimulus. Could more third stimulus land today? And then the big twist for other things happening, student loan debt forgiveness and EIDL grants and more. Also, the big developing details about that eviction moratorium and rent and mortgage assistance happening or not happening. I have all these details and more as early mornings goes into a big morning right now. I'm so excited for you as America wakes up across the country. It's a big morning, and let's get to it as early morning starts right now. The toast is toast and the butter is buttering. And the push for forced stimulus is literally crashing like the waves as suddenly forced stimulus became front page news on Friday. Can you imagine this? Wow. I have been reporting forced stimulus before anyone else, hour after hour, with you, item by item. They went off to talk about something else or forgot about the subject matter. I've been pushing for it. And guess what happened? We got noticed. We got noticed. Broadcast media on Friday ran, and the #1 financial news network ran for stimulus. The Senate approach, the House approach, the amount of monies and more. And guess what happened? It went to front page on their site, and it also became the #1 most searched story on that financial news network. It detailed everything that I detailed for you with this add-on, that 6.6 million Americans would be lifted out of poverty with those monthly stimulus checks. Wow, away we go. What a great way to start the weekend. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. Let's try to do 2,000-3,000 likes. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. The significance of that event is so big because of the story going front page. It is now making the story mainstream. It is now a widely covered story and a widely questioned story among its readers, saying, we need it. When? How soon? And how do we get it? And guess what? I'm going to go over it with you right now. Forced stimulus has two paths, the Senate path and the House path. And that while the two sort of work hand in hand, they're slightly different. Let's look at the comparison. First, the senators want to give you stimulus checks from now to December, a shorter time, about 6 months of checks, 6 checks. The House members want to give you a monthly stimulus checks through this pandemic and then 1 year thereafter. So they want to give you about 18 months of checks. Who are the senators and who are the House members? The House members are about 100 progressives, generally junior members of the House, and the senators are senior members of the Democratic Party. These are the movers and shakers. These are the people who define the party as it is. And then the amounts. The senators don't say their monthly amount. The House members say $2,000 the first month and $1,000 thereafter. But word on the street is that the senators want to pay you either $2,000 a month or $1,400 a month. These folks are your total payouts for a single individual, not for the household, for a single individual. $8,400 if they do $1,400 a month, $12,000 if they do it for $2,000 a month. Who would get these stimulus checks? It would be you if you make less than $75,000. Married couple, $150,000 or less. It would be you up to a household of 4. Take that stimulus check and times it by 4. And it would be you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits. How would they do it? I'm going to go over this a little bit later, but generally during the recon process and likely at the vote-a-rama when senators get the bill. Now, when we go back to that data and we're talking about those monthly payouts, these are the new details that surfaced on Friday. First, a new report from Politico says that Speaker Pelosi is actually very, very close and keeps her friendship secretive with Omar, House member Omar. Omar is one of those progressives who has been very, very vocal about these monthly stimulus checks for pandemic plus 1 year. So do you think Speaker Pelosi would work against it? Drop in the comments. I don't think she will. I think she'll work in favor of it. There's over 100 Democrats in the House that want these monthly stimulus checks. Now, what we learned on Friday is that Omar is among them and that Pelosi does get along very closely with Omar and keeps their friendship very quiet. But we also know that it doesn't have to even come from the House of Representatives. It can come when the bill lands in the Senate. More about that in a second. Meantime, let me cut over to third stimulus for just a second. You know it's Saturday, and guess what Saturday is? It's potentially another round of stimulus checks. Do you think? Well, every Saturday, another round of stimulus checks go out. And, Friday, another round of stimulus checks go out. But the question is whether one went out yesterday. The last wave I had predicted nearly 2 months ago. It was wave 5 that landed checks on April 14th. I told you this it was weeks and weeks ago. And we got that confirmation. 2 million checks landed on Wednesday, April 14th, this last Wednesday. Those 2 million checks, of them, there was 300,000 for veterans, and the remainder were for people who don't file taxes or non-filer filings. Where more checks could land by direct deposit next Wednesday, we won't know if there is another round until today. If you have not gotten a stimulus check before, you're not in the tool, you don't show a result before today, then go to the IRS tool today and see if you're in there. And if you do appear in the IRS tool for the very first time today, please send me a private message on social media, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, because we want to know if there is really another round of stimulus checks today for the third stimulus package. Is there another round? We learned on Wednesday that it was for non-filer filings and non-taxpayers. So did they get them all taken care of last week? It was 2 million. Wasn't a lot. 2 million's not a lot. So could there be another 2 million yesterday? If you show something at the IRS tool anytime today, send me a private message. Or if you saw a direct deposit occur, NetBank, MetaBank, NetSpend, Green Dot, H&R Block, Chime, all those, check it and see if you got that deposit. Meantime, those mail checks are 4 weeks late, folks. So nothing to worry about there. They're just very late. Wait for those mail checks. They're still coming. So the White House was asked yesterday whether it would do a split up of the fourth stimulus package bill. Let me explain what's going on, and let me tell you why not to worry. There is a lot of proposals out there, folks, for the fourth stimulus package. There are proposals left and right. One of them is the salty one from the Salt Caucus about salt. They have said that they're going to oppose the fourth stimulus package unless they get their saltiness done. They are high salt tolerant people, and they're just very salty. And pepper won't cut it for them, folks. So they really need their salt. Do I worry about them? No, not at all. Why? Well, I do worry about high sodium content. I mean, that's between me and you, but I love potato chips. Just, I can't cut them out of my diet. But I am not worried about the salty people. The salt people, that's literally what they're called. They're called the Salt Caucus. They're the salt people. Because they're so small. They're like a grain of salt. There we go. They're small as a grain of salt. This is one of those mornings. So I would not worry about the salt people because they really just don't have, a say in the situation. Because, you just crush them in salt and just toss it over your shoulders. Good luck, and just have some lemon from Nancy's tree after that, and take a shot or something. Am I worried about the Salt Caucus? No. They want to hold up the bill for four people. Good, eat your heart out, because there's not enough There's enough Democratic margin in the House. These are not senators in the House to lose those salty people. So then we had item number 2. Chris Coons. Chris Coons, his idea, take the fourth stimulus package and cut it into half. Really, Chris? Come on, Chris. His idea is to do one bill at a time. Just slow it out. We'll be doing bills for 30 years. No one thinks this is a normal idea. If you don't recall, fourth stimulus is actually half of a prior bill. Fourth and fifth stimulus were actually originally together. They're now separated. Fifth stimulus is in September. I don't cover it because it's so far out. It is more stimulus for you. But fourth and fifth are the split of a prior bill. So he wants to keep on splitting bills to where, No, Chris. Let's listened into the White House yesterday when it was asked about Chris Coons' idea to keep on splitting bills.
I'm sorry, and we didn't get to you, and I didn't mean to, but we can quickly go, and then we'll go to Aaliyah.
Okay, just really quick, I know we've talked about perhaps the possibility of splitting up the infrastructure bill, but just yesterday, one of the president's allies on Capitol Hill, Senator Chris Coons, really floated the idea of splitting it between, just a traditional roads and bridges infrastructure package, and then another one with everything else in the American Jobs Plan. Is that something that the White House is seriously considering?
I would say that the president's going to have a bipartisan meeting next week and a number of meetings next week where the jobs plan is going to be central to that. There are a lot of proposals floating around there. One of them is from Senator Coons, who of course is a close ally of the president, but there are a lot of different proposals out there. So he is very open to hearing different ideas, hearing different ways to get these big ideas he's put forward, this historic investment to modernize our infrastructure, create millions of jobs forward. The mechanisms for that, the construction of it, the pieces that it could flow through, he's very open to what that looks like.
Answer no. I mean, just, that's a polite way of saying, you're crazy. No, not going to happen. If Speaker Pelosi was having that press conference, she'd say, no, just don't come to me with that stupid question. Remember how Pelosi last year would call reporters stupid when the questions didn't like them? The answer to that question is no, it's never going to happen. But I did want to show you that video so you are aware of that there's going to be counter proposal here and counter proposal there. It's just not going to happen. So viewers have been asking me, when is it going to start reconciliation? Well, you did hear in that video, he's going to have more bipartisan meetings. You want the reconciliation to start sooner rather than later. Let's look at that graphic. The important thing on that graphic is the word that starts with the letter J and ends with the letter Y. You want this bill to start ASAP because every week that goes on is a week in which you get a concern about these items. Let's look at that. The issue at hand is the word July. Speaker Pelosi, Leader Schumer say they're going to call the bill for a vote in July. Yeah. And Speaker and Leader Schumer has gotten that extra recon to do this by recon. Yeah. Well, the president can do this bipartisan dance as much as he wants, but at some point you have to say, wait, you got to get going, folks. 2 months it takes to do a reconciliation. It takes 2 months to do a reconciliation. Can he get this done and get this done in June? Yes. Can he get this done in July? Yes. Should he get it done after that? No, absolutely no way. Why? Because Congress goes on all those recesses between July and September. You don't want this bill sitting around to September. Not only is it going to cost you July, 8, August, 2 checks, could amount to almost $4,000. But also, you don't want it sitting around for a very other big reason. And what is that other big reason? I'll have the answer for you in just a second. And I'll have more about the other big money that's coming your way. And that will be coming up right after this break from the community page. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Early Mornings LALATE. How are you? The toast is toast and the butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here. And what a big day it is. I'm so excited you for joining me on Early Mornings LALATE. If you missed the 2 overnight shows right before this one, don't miss them. They're now archived on the channel. Meantime, LALATE's new programming schedule is getting the support of a lot of viewers. They love the new programming schedule. Let me show it to you again right here. First, Mornings LA kicks up in a couple hours from now at 12 noon on the East Coast. Then 2 hours later is noontime. 2 hours after that is afternoons LA. The great thing about our new programming schedule is it's easy breezy. Every show is 2 hours apart. So mornings at 12 noon, and then 2 hours later is noon, and then afternoons LA. Then there's another afternoons LA show 2 hours after that, evenings, and then LA late night. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We are now approaching our 1-year anniversary on April 25th later this month, so make a subscribe. We're trying to get to 400,000 subscribers. Also like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The reason why you want forced stimulus happening now rather than later is not only because Congress goes on recess in July, but because the economic data is really strong. What we had learned in this last week is that this economy is rebounding and that no one is accurate in predicting how fast it's recovering. First, we know it's recovering. That's an easy item. The harder one is how fast is it recovering. No less than 2 weeks ago, we were all talking about we'll be back to normal in January. That's absolutely been disproven now. It's sometime this year. The question is how soon. You don't want this bill to land in the Senate too late before this economy rebounds. And in a given day, we are now seeing lots of good news and very little bad news. Let me go over the big news that happened all this week and how that impacts your stimulus. First, we had a series of major banking reports, whether it was Morgan Stanley yesterday that came in with blowout earnings numbers, or Goldman Sachs at the end of the week. Where Wall Street, again, thought the growth rate was going to be giving in $10 a share earnings, it came in at $20. Wall Street undervalued it by nearly 50%. And these are bankers analyzing fellow bankers. They got it so wrong. Look at how wrong they got Wells Fargo's growth. They thought it was growing at 0.70 a share. No, earnings came in at double that. Again, bank after bank, Wall Street couldn't value the growth correctly. It was growing faster than they anticipated. Then Coinbase came out, and its IPO was stronger than anyone saw coming. The week also featured incredible big news across the board, as the producer price index blew out numbers 10% higher than just the highest number that they had seen in a very long time. We had the CPI number on Tuesday come in, and boy, again, the highest number since 2018. Look at this. The growth of the consumer price index that came in on Tuesday was the highest we had seen since 2018. And then we had the unemployment numbers that came in this week. And those unemployment numbers just shocked everyone. Look at this. Wall Street, everyone thought it was going to be another 700,000 unemployment claims. It came in at 576. Folks, this is huge. This is the best number since March of 2020, which is the lowest number for new unemployment claims since the pandemic started. And then continuing unemployment claims, 1.2 million was the drop. Huge, huge. So we're at 16.9 million. California, 100,000 people getting off of unemployment. Virginia, Texas, Ohio. What do you need to know about this? What you need to know about this is that forced stimulus is dependent upon two big numbers: number of jobs and number of people unemployed. And that other numbers around it will show you where those numbers are coming. Well, the job numbers only come out once a month, and the unemployment numbers come out every week. There's currently that 16 million people unemployed. That number, where is it going to be in July? Is it going to be 2 million? It's going to be 4 million. It's going to be 10 million. No one knows. It's growing. The economy is booming too fast. And then how about that jobless claims now? That number of job creations. We are currently at 8 million jobs missing. That's what the White House said on Wednesday. So how many jobs are going to be missing in July? This is April. April's number is going to come out later this month, then May, June, and July. We got 4 more months of numbers, and there's 8 million missing. If we restore 2 million jobs a month, which is what Wall Street's thinking, we could have all those jobs restored before this bill gets to the Senate. Yes, we're really right on the line for getting this bill done. You and I know it is Democrats. Democrats want to spend. The president this week was asked, is it true you want to maybe consider paying children $300 a month from age newborn to age 18? Wouldn't answer the question. Totally avoid the question, the press secretary. Yes, he does. He does. He wants to spend $64,000. No joke whatsoever about it. So the president is not adverse to spending money. He's not adverse to giving you stimulus checks. But at some point, when the economy rebounds too quickly, then there's a question of whether or not that's the time and place. Meantime, the big issue is what will get you the reconciliation path? Climate. The president details in a new video that climate is really where the president's going. And next week, he's going to have a lot more for climate set up. Republicans don't want to give him a penny for climate. And if Republicans don't want to give him any money for climate, then he has to go buy recon. And if he has to go buy recon, you get stimulus checks. It all works hand in hand. Let's listen in.
And the care economy. On Tuesday, he will meet with the leadership of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Later in the week, the president will deliver remarks on the COVID-19 response, providing an update on that front and the state of vaccinations. And of course, at the end of the week, the president will participate in the virtual Leaders Summit on Climate. I wanted to just outline a little bit on that, which I know is of great interest to many of you. The president wanted to convene the summit early in his presidency to ensure close coordination with key players in the international community and at the highest levels of government. Obviously, the United States is one of the world's largest emitters, but so are a number of countries who will be represented by leaders next week. It's aimed at setting the world up for success on multiple fronts as we work to address the climate crisis, including emissions reductions, finance, innovation and job creation, resilience and adaptation. The summit will convene the world's major economies and other key voices. As we've noted, 40 leaders have been invited to galvanize efforts to keep the vital goal of limiting global warming, and we know that objective is within reach. During the summit, leaders will also discuss mobilizing.
Basically, the message you get very loud and clear is that the president could do a lot of climate next week. He's going to do a lot of climate. Good. Do a lot of climate and do recon. Remember, the president's fourth stimulus package has 3 provisions: infrastructure, climate, and taxes. The Republicans have said, lie in the sand, we're not doing climate. We're not giving 1 penny for climate. President said, you have to give me money for climate. No, we're not doing any money for climate. Recon, you have to go by reconciliation. Climate is your friend for purposes of multiple stimulus checks, because climate is what pushes the bill to reconciliation, and by reconciliation, it gets it to the stimulus checks. Also, what I want to go over with you is a really surprising new report that came out yesterday about evictions, rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. A new report came out yesterday said for some reason the federal government has not been getting second stimulus money to cities, states, and counties for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowners assistance, which I've been detailing on this channel for a while. Unclear why. And it's unclear why some states have gotten it, other states haven't gotten it. For example, California has it, Florida doesn't have it. Then the report also said that for purposes of third stimulus for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowners, utility bills, and other items, those are landing in May. So if you have been trying to reach out for rent, utilities, and food, or reach out to the community volunteers, that's what's going on. The graph is very confusing. There's no correlation as to why some states are doing it on time and why other states aren't. Meantime, the EIDL grant and the PPP, big news across the board. First, if you have an existing business, there's a lot of opportunities for you. The PPP grant is now being extended by executive order, so go get that like a Fundera cabbage. Second, the EIDL loan increase has gone live. Go to sba.gov to increase your EIDL loan. Third, the shuttered venue grant is now live. Apply to sba.gov. The restaurant grant's about to go live. Apply to sba.gov. There is no money to start a new business. Biden did not get that into the third stimulus package. And finally, 2 major exclusives about the EIDL grant. First, the invite to get the remainder of your $10,000 EIDL grant is coming in a non-chronological order. It's coming randomly. So people are getting them out of order. It has nothing to do with the location. They're doing all the low income first and then everyone else thereafter. Second, if you got that email and you replied back in the month of February and you haven't heard anything back, you're stuck. There's a vortex. Yes, there's another vortex. Those people who got the EIDL advance email, increase email in February and responded back to it and have not heard back, you're stuck in a vortex. SBA knows about the vortex, unlike 2020, and so they're getting to you shortly. Finally, the student loan debt forgiveness. We're waiting in anticipation about how this is going to plan out and pay out and phase out and all those other outwards. We're waiting for all the details, and I will stay on top of it for you as well. The president has instructed Miguel Cardona to prepare a detailed memo of whether the president can forgive student loan debt by executive order. Presidents Trump and Obama have done it before, so Biden does have executive authority to forgive $50,000 student loan debt. This week involved Elizabeth Warren getting a document she had requested from the federal government showing that 36 million Americans would be debt-free and have their lives changed if student loan debt forgiveness was done. Who and what does that mean? It means that those 36 million Americans can't buy a home because of student loan debt, can't buy a car, can't start a business. And imagine with the strike of a pen, they would be free of student loan debt and be able to spur this economy with either buying a business, buying a car, buying a home, or doing things that they were limited to because of student loan debt over the years. very exciting news. I have a lot of big other exciting news throughout the day, so I hope you stay with me. Saturday is going to be a big day across the board. Also, what happened yesterday, also surprising, was a new series of concerns about Robinhood. Massachusetts regulators have now sought to revoke Robinhood's broker license. That is a big subject matter heating up next week. Also, Dogecoin, likely to burst crypto's bubble. It's speculative. There's no value. And a major seller could tank it totally. A new report published yesterday shows that Adam Zakanoff, CEO of Bird, a popular crypto wallet with 7 million users, say that Dogecoin is illogical and that people are going to get very sad if they don't get out. My guess is that it won't last. Something that Dogecoin was never meant to be Dogecoin was never meant to be a payment system or storage of value. Yes, you can make a quick buck if you time it right, but timing the market is a terrible thing to do. It does not work. He says, you see the power of social media to move people to do something in masses. This is a flash in the pan that people are going to get right behind now. It's great if you have some disposable income and you're playing around like you're having fun with it. The danger is you're the last person holding the bag. My message to you very clearly is that as this channel expands its programming across the board with its new show added to the lineup, Coin LA, it's important for you to understand that when you make money this year, I don't want you to waste your money. Dogecoin is disliked by crypto leaders. It is seen as speculative. It has no inherent value. It is simply someone buying something because it's going up. You don't know why it's going up. And you're not going to know why it's going down or when it's going down or how quickly it's going to go down. You see things going up and you're interested on turning a quick buck. That's fine if you see the rise and you get out quickly. But if you go in and you stay in, get ready to get burnt. And it's not going to be fun on the downside. With that, thank you for joining me on a big morning's LALATE. I'm so excited for you across the board. Coming up later today, I'll have that new video from Dr. Walensky about the new numbers across the board. Really surprising. And it's not very clear what's going on with those numbers for COVID. But I'll have all the details for you on Mornings LA. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Let's try to do 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 likes on this video. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay LA.